Welcome into a special edition of Tornado Watch. This year, the NCAA is celebrating the 50th anniversary of Division II athletics. And over the next few months, we'll catch up with several former Tornado who racked up accomplishments since 2011, the year King transitioned to Division II. I'm your host, Chris Mangrum, and today we're joined by Hannah Witt, a former member of King's women's cross-country team. Hannah, we thank you for taking some time to chat with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Now, before we look back at some of your accomplishments, why don't we start with what you're up to these days?
Sure. So I actually am still in college, basically, because I'm at Lee's McRae and I work for the enrollment management department. And so I don't really work so much as a traditional counselor, but more of the data part of things, kind of like a IT liaison, if you will. So yeah, that's what I'm up to.
Well, good to hear that you're still around the area. Back in 2010, you were a member of the first team in program history to compete in an NCAA championship. What do you remember most about that experience?
Oh, it was great. I think that was probably our most cohesive team. All the girls, they were spectacular athletes, and to run alongside them was quite a joy. But I think mad props to our leader, Coach Peter Dalton, because you can have a lot of talented individuals, but unless you have somebody at the helm kind of guiding their progress, that's pivotal. And otherwise, you just have a lot of talented runners, you know, and to get them to reach their potential, it's, distance running in itself is such a fine art. You have to, do base mileage, and then you need to get more race specific as you get closer and closer to key races. And Coach Dalton, he really knew how to do that correctly, and he looked at each athlete individually, which there's so many programs in which coaches, they kind of say, we're going to do 400s on the track, and whoever's left standing is great, and whoever's injured, well, you're out. And it's like the top few athletes get to actually compete. So that's a shame, but King is so amazing because we had the capacity to really focus on the athlete as a holistic individual, which is lacking in so many other venues. Louisville, I think, yeah, that was where we had Nats, but that was quite an experience. The first time that I had raced in spikes that were geared to run in snow. So although I'm from Mountain City, Tennessee, and it snows there a lot, but Louisville, that was a whole different ball game. So it was all a great experience. We went to, I think it's called the Louis Slugger Museum. So a bunch of distance runners in a baseball-esque scene was interesting, to say the least. But yeah, great company, great coaching. Everything just came together, perfect, not perfect storm, but perfect, I don't know, situation.
Well, you can't go to Louisville without stopping by the Louisville Slugger Museum. That is for sure.
Certainly not. I think we went to, is it Churchill Downs that's there as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we went there as well. I have lots of photos to document that. Not all flattering, but it was great.
Well, in addition to your success in competition, you also earned some prestigious academic honors, including being the first academic All-American in program history, which you were joined recently by Katie Newbert each of the last 2 years. So you guys are the only two, excuse me, as well as the Track and Field Conference Scholar Athlete of the Year in 2013 in both indoor and outdoor. So as you reflect on those honors, what do those mean to you here today, 10 years later?
I'm proud of all of those accolades, of course, and that is largely due to, I mean, I had a pretty rigorous curriculum with, I think I had like physics and neuroscience and organic chemistry and exercise physiology all in the same semester. So it was quite a bear to tackle, but Dr. Bloomer, Dr. Fitz, Dr. Gilmer. Uh, I forget who the exercise phys person was, but they were all such spectacular staff and so accommodating of the student athlete. And I mean, that's missing in so many, say, university settings. Being in higher ed still, I can see both sides of, what universities have to offer versus small private schools. And King being small and private is, I mean, similar to Lise McRae. I think we're still in the same conference. So definitely a student athlete who wants to achieve academically as well as athletically, it really behooves them to go to a small private because they get the attention from professional professors who are they are keen to help nurture that student athlete instead of just be like, okay, well, you're on your own. They understand and they will definitely rise to help you. And it was, for me, it was very critical to have professors who were not only accommodating, but they're so knowledgeable, so incredibly intelligent, and cream of the crop for they just know their stuff. So that was a pleasure to learn from them.
Well, you collected plenty of accomplishments on the track as well in your time. Your team won conference championships in indoor and outdoor track and field, cross country titles in 2012 and 2013. You were named the 2013 Indoor Conference Athlete of the Year and qualified for the NCAA Championships as an individual after becoming the first and only Tornado still to win the regional championship. So, of all of your athletic achievements, which one of those stands out the most to you?
Probably regional champ, being able to go to Nats in it's like I can't even remember. It was in Washington State. I forget the actual city, which is crazy. But being able to win that was it Charlotte? I can't remember. But it was, to me, it was after I had the absolute opportunity of a lifetime to be an intern at Zap. It was Zap Fitness at that time, in Blowing Rock, North Carolina, but it's now Zap Endurance. But it was a facility that's down there that caters to Olympic distance athletes, and I had the opportunity to be an intern there, and I learned so much. And it was just, you're out in the middle of the woods in Blowing Rock. Blowing Rock. It's very isolated. It's like um, it's quite far from any kind of, the Boone is like maybe 20 minutes away, which isn't terribly far, but you can get pretty far into the woods pretty quickly up here. So that was really cool to be around such motivated, focused athletes. And I mean, it's impossible to not apply that to oneself, which I did. And, when I got back to King, Coach Dalton, he was very like, let's really work with what you've done. And I had done a ton of base mileage over the summer. When I got back to King, it was like, okay, let's sharpen up and let's really go for it, because I had redshirted, I believe, the previous fall due to injury. So I was able to return in 2013. So that was in the fall of 2013. That was really amazing. And I felt it's like I really am proud of that accomplishment, regional champ, because it was the fittest I'd ever been. And I didn't know that I was capable of that type of fitness. And, I wish that I could have taken that moment and made that like freshman year at King so that I could have continued to build off of that and improve. But, you can't get everything, but it was just super fantastic. And that's definitely probably my favorite accolade for sure.
Well, not only did you win that regional championship, but the runner-up finished 25 seconds behind you. So you dominated that one. So totally understandable why that one is a lasting memory. You've left quite the legacy at King, and your name still appears at the top of several school records, including owning the 3 fastest 5K times in program history and the 4 fastest 6K times. Now that you're 10 years removed from competition at King, what are some of your lasting memories of your time?
Let's see. Spokane, Washington. That was where, sorry,
Got it.
just came to me because I was thinking, what is a lasting memory? And it would definitely have to be being in a singlet in like 25-degree weather in a Spokane where it's freezing cold. I mean, that was quite an experience. I'd never experienced that kind of cold in out west, you know. That was a lasting memory. That wasn't per se quite at King, because I don't think King would hurt me so badly as to be that cold and miserable. But yeah, I just definitely being, we called it the island. So we had Holston Dam. Holston Dam is in near Bristol, at least, I guess. And we would do workouts on what we call the island, which is a loop with kind of some crisscross back and forth paths, all on this little island, and it's soft gravel surface, and it's just gorgeous out there. And after that, we would like hop in the freezing cold river, which was cold because I guess they used turbines or something. I don't know, some kind of water powering system over there, but it was super cold. So definitely some fun conversations had while freezing to death in that, but you just felt so much better after sitting in that cold water to recover. That was amazing, just traveling, because we did so much travel to sports competitions, just the camaraderie. That was quite an experience. I would say actually on campus though, for some reason I was thinking about this morning. I remember being in the dining hall and I was surrounded by, I think there were cyclists at the table, there were distance athletes at the table. But you know, Dr. Pickard just like sat down. He was like, okay, well, let's have a chat, you know, and we all had lunch together. And you know, that was so common for the professors to just sit down and, you know, eat with us, you know, common students. And it was just, to me, it was bizarre, but it was really refreshing that he was happy to do that. And so definitely that would stand out. Such a unique experience.
Well, we want to say thank you again, Hannah, for joining us on this special edition of Tornado Watch as we celebrate the 50th anniversary of Division II by catching up with notable tornado athletes from King's Division II era. For Hannah, I'm Chris. We thank you for watching, and we hope to see you next time.
Thanks, Chris. Have a good one.